Fala galera, esse vídeo do Crescem Games, quem fala com vocês é o Crescem. Vamos continuar aqui na série Rumo Platina de Tales of Arise. Nós estamos aqui em Lenegis, na zona residencial 4. Já falamos com todo o pessoal aqui no último vídeo, já fizemos uma missão secundária que tinha liberado e agora nós temos que prosseguir por uma área onde o pessoal tá tretando ali. Então bora lá. Zona do Parque Civil? Que loucura! Quanto tempo isso vai continuar? Não sei, a gente costuma receber ordens dos superiores informando as diferentes classes o que cada uma precisa fazer. Duvido que estejam fazendo isso, toda a cadeia de comando dessa cidade parece quebrada. Ninguém sabe o que está acontecendo, mas isso não significa que não tenha alguém por aí observando todos os nossos movimentos. Por enquanto, vamos ver se há alguém de uma patente mais alta por aqui. Talvez ele saiba alguma coisa sobre o que fazer.
Hey, it's that ingredient.
Yeah, the one for that recipe.
You always have an eye for food.
O curral está em condições bem ruins, vai saber quantas pessoas morreram. O que aconteceu com os Eagles? Não me diga que eles escaparam. Não, por sorte conseguimos contê-los antes que chegassem muito longe. Não que isso importe muito, já que escaparam em outros distritos também. Se eu tivesse que dar palpite, diria que há muitos Eagles correndo soltos por Lenegis. É ruim de falar isso aí, né? E eles nos ultrapassaram em números também. O que faremos? Todos os nossos melhores soldados estão estacionados em Dana.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renans sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
Se os rumores forem verdade, não só os Zegos que estão fora de controle, parece que um grupo de soldados de armadura começou a se rebelar também. Até onde sabemos, pode ser o começo de algum tipo de revolta, não acha? Isso é um absurdo. Quem em sua consciência iria tramar uma conspiração dessas e achar que consegue sair impune? Verdade, rebelar-se contra o soberano significa rebelar-se contra toda a civilização renana. Difícil de dizer, nada do tipo jamais aconteceu na história de Lenegis, a informação que temos é pouca. Se as coisas não se acalmarem logo, você acha que a gente deveria embarcar numa espaçonave e evacuar a área? Não podemos. É preciso ter uma permissão do soberano para entrar em uma espaçonave por outro motivo que não seja o torneio de sucessão. Bom, mas cadê o soberano? Por que ele não está aqui para nos guiar nesse momento de dificuldade? Ali.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Os meus olhos me enganam ou minha loja foi abençoada pelo Lorde Dohalim e seus servos? Posso ajudar de alguma forma, meu senhor? O que tu vende diferenciado aí? Nada? Umas armaduras novas aqui. Tem uma arma nova aqui, Gládio Renano. Espada criada com a tecnologia de Lenegis. Foi usada a tecnologia renana de ponta para que ela se adaptasse a qualquer usuário. Nossa, mas é caro, hein? Escopeta renana. E tem esse disparo de assalto. Olha o tamanho desse troço! Mas eu acho que eu não vou fazer ela. O famoso canhão que pertencia a um suposto imortal. A maioria dos que tentam dispará-lo é repelida pelo coice da arma. Eu não vou fazer... Será que eu faço? Eu acho que não. Porque eu gosto dessa aqui por causa da aprimoração das armas de fogo ali. Luz Radiante parte 13, História Renana. Essa aqui o ganho é grande. Miuralha Rosinho. Escuta um renano. Essa aqui o ganho é grande. Caduceu renano. Também um ganho enorme. Bastão criado com a tecnologia de Lenegis. Construído para ser mais leve. Dentro do fisicamente possível, sem sacrificar a força. Cestos renanos. Manoplas criadas com a tecnologia de Lenegis. Testes extensivos durante o desenvolvimento as tornaram leves, mas ainda resistentes. Vamos fazer. Não tem muita coisa pra vender, mas... acessório... Tem algo diferente? Não.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Minha nossa, eu nunca imaginei ser honrado com a presença do Lorde Dohalim e seus companheiros. O que eu puder fazer por vocês, disponho. Só descansar.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
É uma honra servi-los, meu senhor. Não sei que tipo de zego a gente vai enfrentar aqui, né? Tem os soldados também.
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
More where that came from!
Denied!
Got more for the stockpile!
Try this!
Blizzard bloom!
Make it rain!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Here's a healing art!
Die!
through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me
No!
help.
Dragon Swarm! Win! It's on!
Do it! Shion!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Oi?
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Vamos reto. Deve ter alguma coisa. Olha ali. Uma de uva.
Hi, Hoodle!
Dragon Swarm!
Water, hear my call!
Sleep now.
See what I can do.
Ah! You picked the wrong
I
fight!
will bring you
down.
These ones can run rings around us! Here!
Eternal devastation!
Sadistic descent!
Damn it! It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up. Take this.
Not today! Sword Lane Alpha! I owe you one.
Shield and mace! Not in your dreams! Annihilation!
I'm not done! Dragon
Leave
Swarm!
the chargers to me!
Semi-win!
Frozen!
Hammer!
My turn! Dragon Swarm! We did it!
Ready and raring.
Lightning!
Void
Fire
Blast!
laser! I can do this all day!
Try this!
Glacial Spear! Here's the
Infernal
evil!
Torrent!
Here!
Severing Wind!
I'll be saving this one!
You're mine!
Hit?
Pierce!
More where that came from!
I can feel my power growing!
Qual que é o nível disso aqui?
Gotta
44?
break through!
How about no further?
Try harder! Not a chance!
Go get
It's
her!
on!
Go!
Ah! You picked the wrong fight!
As if a normal police
Sword Lane
wasn't
Alpha!
disgusting
I'll
enough.
be saving this one!
Vacuum Blade!
I'll
Smash you!
in here!
Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame! I'll be saving this one!
On this!
In the wind!
Glacial
You're
Spear,
mine!
where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
I'll be saving this one!
No chance!
Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Severing Wind! Devastation! The flame inside is yours to be let free!
I don't even know the word defeat.
Rising
Parade!
Infernal Torrent!
Annihilation! By the power of the sun!
Devastation!
Droga.
Don't give up!
Get out of this!
Explosion! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Magic is am! In here! Spread! Hear me!
Sleep
Flame of
now.
fury! Burning strike!
Glacial
Shooting
Spear.
star! Here's evil! Now for the
Estrela cadente.
Magic is am!
Sleep now.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Here comes! Hurricane Reflect! Magic is am! In here! Here's the evil! Seal! Lancer! Burning strike! Too much handle!
Appreciate the help.
Sword Lane Alpha! Try this!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare demolition!
Now or never.
Sleep now.
Where are you going? On guard!
In a bind.
Smash the penis!
See what I can do. The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Deus, que esse bicho aguenta dano.
More for the stockpile.
Strike.
Blah, blah, blah.
This one's mine!
Soaring light spear. Rising phoenix.
Dance to the wind. In here. Confiscated.
Far enough!
Uninvited starting
Megasonic thrust.
Dance to the wind. Burning. Sleep now.
Severing wind.
Hear my body.
Void flash.
Here!
Let me go. Hear me.
Soaring light spear.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Dragon swarm. Remote.
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Does anyone else think this may be just a bit too tough for us?
Meu Deus, o bicho aguenta muito dano. Estrela cadente. Arce combina lanceiro congelante e lança santa para usar um lance. Para usar lance uma arça enquanto a outra estiver carregando. Lanceiro congelante e lança santa, mas eu não uso a lança santa, acho. Deixa eu só ver uma coisa aqui. Eu uso a lâmina cruzada, mas eu não uso a lança santa. A não ser que eu carregue 2 vezes a lâmina trovejante e daí usar a lâmina cruzada, talvez funcione. Bom, isso aí eu vejo depois. Deixa eu só usar uma goma de uva na Kisara. O bicho aguenta porrada que, meu Deus do céu. Né?
Go no further.
This work. Oh my. For my lord. You picked the wrong fight. In a bind.
Here's the evil.
Severing
I
wind.
can't let the hatred consume me.
I see what, eh?
Sleep now. Here's a healing arc.
Here I come. What's up? I owe you one. Its armor's too strong.
Split it open.
Be my guest. Take it.
Hang fight.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
An astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
In your dreams. Burning flame. Blah, blah, blah. Magic.
It's on. Burn it all. Swordlane Alpha.
Now. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Not a chance. Dragon Swarm.
Here goes. Hear my call.
Mow him down.
More with
Severing
that.
wind.
Glacial steel. Here's the evil.
Far enough. Mission.
Foi os dois, né?
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Gotta break through.
You got spirit!
No further.
Look sharp.
Dragon Swarm. Severing wind. I won't show you any mercy.
Now you'll learn!
Wind. Ignite. Dragon Swarm. Swordlane Alpha.
Going in.
Make it rain. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Not a chance.
Far beyond the
Rising
darkest
rocket.
time. Hurricane flight.
Severing capacity.
Do it.
Speed.
Law.
Demons descend. Flashing fang. Not a chance. Soaring light. Shattering of pieces. Attack time.
By the power of
Rising focus.
Strike.
No further.
This one's mine. More for the
Dragon
second.
Swarm.
Kisara frozen.
Hammer.
O dano tá interessante, né?
I'm ready for the next battle.
Bolo de morango. Bolo esponjoso recheado de creme e morango. Quem se atrever a roubar o morango no topo sofrerá uma punição dolorosa. Goma de abacaxi.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Deixa eu só ver uma coisa. Ah, droga, eu devia ter olhado antes. Eu queria olhar qual que é a fraqueza dele.
I think I'll pass on the handshake. You get the gist. In here. Back into the fire.
Explosive
Lightning
rain!
condemned. In here. Sealed.
This one's mine!
Dragon form!
This one.
Try this!
Now for the
Be
blade.
still! Lightning focus!
Think you can fly?
Lightning condemned. In here.
Throbs in pain.
Let me help. First, I'll be saving this one.
Dragon form!
Here I go. Blade.
This!
I can do this all day.
Eat dirt.
Here goes. Here, let me help.
Crush! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Wind!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
In a bind?
Go here. Glacial
I
spear.
can carve
Here's
through.
the hurricane. Lightning.
You're
Freeze.
mine.
Freeze.
Sword Rain out!
Here's the healing.
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
Light up the dark!
All right.
Can't move!
Ai, o Alfie morreu.
You have
I'll bring you back from death to
All
this.
right, let me at him.
Sleep
Think
now.
you can fly?
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
I owe you one.
Tidal wave.
Dragon Swarm!
Radiant light.
Vacuum
Searing
Blade!
blade.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Lightning condemned.
This one's mine.
Try this!
Hurricane flight!
It's go time!
Here I go.
I'll smash you!
Blizzard blade.
Denied.
Condemned.
Try harder! It's on! Now! Take the... Ignite!
Here's a healing arc.
Switch to offense!
First aid.
I owe you one.
Darkest sky. Glacial spear. Here's the
Explosive
evil.
Ring!
Glacial fire!
Freeze.
Severing Wing! Devastation! Point Blast!
Get a shot in your dream.
Point
Lightning
Blast!
condemned.
Here, let me help.
Blizzard blow.
Infernal Torrent! You're mine!
I'll take you all on! Ha!
Pelo que eu entendi, parece que ele sofre com dano de luz, né?
Dragon Swarm! Remote!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Informação do inimigo. Louva Deus da força. É fraqueza é luz e resistência trevas seria, né? Ih, ah não, achei que tinha bugado ali, ó. Meh.
Out of our way.
Shattering pieces! Attack time! Wind!
Head. Glacial spear. It's like trying to keep up with a wall.
Right spear! This one's all mine!
Magic is
Not
out.
today!
Their arcs are
Dragon
interrupted!
Swarm!
First
Take
aid.
this!
Thanks. Just like
Make it rain!
astral energy.
Say no more! My turn! Dragon Swarm!
Here, let me help. Thunderblade.
Dragon Swarm! We did it! My turn! There!
That'll bring you down.
Wind! Devastation! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! No further!
Here's evil. Do it. Shield. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Now! You're
This
mine!
one's mine! Maximum burn!
Swordless Showtime!
Armor won't save you!
I'm not done!
Arc
Dragon
shield.
Swarm!
By the
Wind.
power of flame. Finish with
Strike.
Astral. Lightning condemned. Thunderblade.
Glacial fire!
Explosion.
Inferno crushing!
Severing Wing!
Charge glacial spear. Here's evil. Freeze lancer.
Dragon Swarm!
With the wind.
Severing
Foi.
With this, I can become even stronger.
Cristal generativo. Cristal que imediatamente reconserta qualquer dano que recebe. Vários estudiosos tentam encontrar meios de aproveitar seus atributos regenerativos. Sálvia.
This one's all mine.
Não, apertei muito cedo.
Need to pull myself
Not in your
together.
dreams.
Dragon Swarm.
Raging Control.
Watch for their ranged attack.
Blah, blah, blah. In here.
It's time.
I'll be saving
The
you.
enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that.
Support.
Now. Frozen.
Hammer!
Wind down. Thanks. The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Let the lightning handle it.
Rising Falcon. Not today.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Blah, blah, blah. I never miss.
Sword Rain Alpha.
Here's a healing art.
Hurricane Far enough!
Here.
Far beyond the darkest
Take
time.
this.
I flame.
No further.
I can carve through armor.
Here's a healing art. Maximum burn. Xion, astral energy. Full throttle.
4.000 de dano.
Everyone hanging in there?
An opponent.
Agora eu não sei qual que eu vou primeiro. Acho que eu preciso aqui.
One more. In here. More for the stop.
Eternal devastation. Dragon Swarm.
On guard!
You think that shield will save you?
Soaring Lightning.
In here.
You're mine.
More for the
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
flame of fury.
Huh? You picked the wrong fight.
Think you can fly?
Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
Here's a
No, you
healing
can't.
art.
No, it's... I owe you one.
Havoc!
Severing the wind.
Burning strike.
Try harder.
Here's
My
a
turn. Wind.
More for the stop.
Soaring Lightning.
Burning
shot.
Water. Here I come.
Now we're not.
I never miss.
Huh? Not today.
In here.
Dragon Swarm.
Water. Here I come.
Denied!
Dragon Swarm.
Here's evil.
Can't get out of
Make it Dohalim.
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis.
Now. I'll smash you. Feel right.
Waterfall.
We're not winning. Sword Rain Alpha.
Now for something special.
Dragon Swarm. Coming through. Ha!
Vendo que eles aguentam dano.
Scarlet Inferno.
Here's
No,
the
you
healing
can't.
art.
Huh? You picked the wrong fight. Now, all is freely.
Now take its astral energy. Full throttle.
I can feel my power growing.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Entre na Zona Proibida. Então beleza, galera, vamos encerrar esse vídeo por aqui. Vou deixar pra gente entrar aqui nessa Zona Proibida então no próximo, já que a gente já tá com 41 minutos, quase 42. No próximo a gente continua. Então muito obrigado por terem assistido e até a próxima. Valeu!